Want to be a more positive person? It can be tough when you're naturally negative, but it's not impossible to reprogram your brain. Yes, that's right. I said reprogram your brain. I prefer to expect the worst. Because then if it doesn't happen, I'm not disappointed. But then if it does, I can be ecstatic about it. I'm not a negative person. I'm a realist. It's realistic to assume it's not going to happen anyway. Based off my past, we can statistically say it's not going to happen. I've said stuff like this, and you probably have said something similar, right? Hi, I'm Kimberly Farrally from Blossom Lifestyle at www.blossomlife.style. If you're naturally a negative person but wish you could be a more positive person, then keep watching for my 5 tips on how to reprogram your brain for positive thinking. First off, we need to understand how we became a negative thinker in the first place. I read somewhere that our brains use up about 80% of our energy throughout the day. Our brains do a lot of work on its own. So it's no wonder that our brains want to take the easiest path out. So when it is given a situation, it naturally wants to find the easiest path. So sometime in our past, we either had a negative thought or continuously had negative thoughts towards a certain situation or happenstance that happened to us. For example, you were faced with an issue and you correlated that with a negative thought. And you played that story over and over inside your head, programming those neural pathways with that repetitive process. Therefore, that's now the easiest path to a similar situation. When then later put into that same similar situation that's familiar to your brain, it's going to remember, this is how I reacted before to this. This is the easiest path. Therefore, this is going to be my initial reaction. Hence a negative thought to that certain situation. Something I learned in psychology was an example of this was when you were drunk and you lost your keys, you woke up sober the next day and can't remember where you put your keys. You go and get drunk again later that night, and now you remember where your keys were. You put your body back in that same state that you were before when the situation happened. Similar thing happens when you have sense of emotions. So you had a really emotional moment and you cried your eyes out. So that later, when you're faced with that same similar type of situation that made you bawl your eyes out before, it's going to make you bawl your eyes out again. Similar situation, easiest path out, correlates it with the same reaction. Therefore, that means we can reprogram our brains from the negative thinking that we did before to the more positive thought process. Before we dive into the 5 tips that I have to help you reprogram your brain for positive thinking, I want to do a quick caveat here. For those who may suffer from mental illnesses or disabilities, your results could vary. Doing these exercises won't hurt you any. However, I do recommend consulting a medical professional if you need more guidance. So let's dive into those 5 different tips/challenges that you can go ahead and start doing today to reprogram your brain for positivity. First, you need to want to change. You need to have that will to want to change from negative thinking to a more positive outlook. If you don't have the will or the want to change, it's going to be a lot harder for you to reprogram your brain for positivity, and you might not see the results that you want after accomplishing these challenges. For the next 4 tips, I want to challenge you to do each one of them for 30 consecutive days. 30 days in a row. Do not skip a day. It might be hard, but try very hard to do them each for 30 days to get the best results. So number 2 is to recognize the negative thought and counter it. By being able to recognize that you are having the negative thought, it's going to cause self-awareness. And by having self-awareness of your negative thoughts, it's going to give you that chance to correct it. And that's what we need you to be able to do. You need to be able to recognize that you're having the negative thought so that we can correct it. So every time you have a negative thought, recognize it and redirect it. Meaning, think of a positive thought right after that negative thought. If you have a hard time coming up with something positive, then just think of the opposite. Think of the opposite thought of what you just had that was negative and turn that into a positive. And that's a good place to start. It might be hard at first, but the more you do this, the easier it's going to become. So for 30 days, when you have a negative thought, recognize it. Oh, there's that negative thought. Counter it with something positive. So number 3 is to ask yourself these 2 very simple questions multiple times throughout the day. Set an alarm on your phone to go off at certain intervals throughout the day, certain time frames throughout the day, and basically have it pop up with a note with these 2 questions to remind you what these 2 questions are so that you can answer them. The first question is going to be, what is something good or positive that has happened to me recently? So sit there and think about what has recently happened to you. It could be that you got yourself some yummy food for lunch or something. It could be something that's simple at first, but really sit down and think about something that happened to you that you can have a positive outlook on. Maybe take something that first appeared negative and you countered it from the previous step. Think of that and be like, oh, here's the positive of that situation. Question number 2 is think about what is something good or positive about something around me. This could be something as simple as finding the positive in the weather, or maybe a coworker sitting across from you or next to you and you think of something nice about them. Number 4, a gratitude journal. Even if you are not the journaling type, you don't keep diaries or anything like that, I still want you to try the gratitude journal. And it doesn't have to be anything complex. Just spend 5-10 minutes every single night before you go to bed and think about your day and think about a positive something that happened in your day. So not every day can be a good day, but every day has good in it. Sometimes it can be really hard to find, but the more you do this, the easier it's going to get. So every single day before you go to bed, take 5 or 10 minutes and just think about your day and find something good about your day. Find something positive, something you're thankful for, and write that down. It doesn't have to be a full page, and just be a few sentences, just so that you can look back on it and remember. So make sure it's something that when you write it down, it's enough information that you can remember if you went back and reread it. Do this for 30 consecutive days. Do not miss a day, okay? And then the 5th challenge, fake it till you make it. I hate this one. A little bit of a background is when I joined the Air Force and had to go off to officer training school, I had a really, really hard time. I'm very much an introvert. I get social anxiety. Talking in front of people is like the worst. And having to talk in front of a group of people or even just one person is really hard unless I'm really comfortable and have gotten to know you. I get pretty bad social anxiety. Just thinking about it gives me anxiety. And that is not conducive of an officer in the military. And my flight commander had issues with me from day 1 because of this. I'm pretty sure she was hoping that I would drop out or just get kicked out. Pretty sure. But I didn't let that happen. And one of the things they taught me was fake it till you make it. And I was like, if I already have a really hard time talking in front of people and coming up with things to say, then how can I really fake that? How can I pretend to be the opposite when I don't know how to be the opposite? So that is why I kind of don't like the fake it till you make it thing, but there is some good out of this tip, and I'm going to get into that. First of all, stay true to your true self. Don't lose your authenticity just by faking it till you make it. That's another part that I don't like about this. But here's the good thing about faking it till you make it. Remember earlier in the video when I said we've programmed our brains to think negatively as a reaction to something that happened? So it may not be natural to think positive all the time when something happens, but by trying to do these exercises and these challenges, and you fake it until you make it by making yourself think of those positive thoughts, making yourself say those positive things instead, it's going to help you reprogram your brain. You're faking it until you make it. So you're faking it. You're saying these positive thoughts. You're thinking these positive thoughts as a counter to the negative thoughts. And now eventually you're going to make it. You're going to reprogram your brain and you're going to make it. Because faking it till you make it, you're trying to become a person you want to be. Staying true to your authentic self, but trying to better yourself to have that positive outlook instead. Fake being a positive person until you make it as a positive thinker. I also want to point out that it's okay to be okay sometimes. There are going to be moments in your life when you're going to feel sad and need to go cry, or maybe you feel a little bit of anger or upset, and that's fine. Go have those emotions. Go cry it out. For goodness sake, go cry it out. But as soon as you're done, get up and try to counter that with something positive. It's okay to feel feelings of hurt. It's okay to feel sad. It's about how you react to it after. It's about how you get back up from it and come up with those positive thoughts after. It's about your actions post, right? So you get back up, you wipe those tears away and reroute those thoughts and try to find something positive. Like I said, not every day is a good day, but every day has good in it. So even those days when you are hurt and sad and you're in your bed bawling your eyes out, get up afterwards, wipe those tears away, and find the positive in that day because it's there somewhere. It's normal. It's okay to be okay sometimes. So I challenge you to try these 5 ideas for 30 consecutive days. Consistency is key, so don't skip a day. If you need a boost and daily reminders, I encourage you to sign up for our free daily doses of positivity. It's absolutely free to you, and you'll receive daily positivity in your inbox for the next 30 days. The link to sign up is in the description of this video down below. Don't forget to comment below with your favorite challenge from this video. We would love to hear it, and our viewers would also love to hear if you have any other advice that you would like to provide. If you found this video helpful, smash that thumbs up button and share this video with your friends who might also like to join the positivity challenge. Never skip a vibe, subscribe, and while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you get notifications. And remember to embrace your personal definition.